All right. We're going to be adding tenths. We will add using the unit rule. And my unit rule tells me for place value units, it says, before I can add, compare, or subtract, each place value must match. Just meaning that I need to add tenths to tenths. I cannot add thousands to units. Those place values don't match. And so when I'm adding tenths, I will add tenths the same way I've added everything else in my life thus far. In kindergarten, you added ladybugs to ladybugs and subtracted fish from fish. In first through third grade, you added units to units, tens to tens, hundreds to hundreds. In fourth grade, we did the exact same thing, and we can extend that to decimals. So I have 2 tenths that are shaded, 8 tenths that are blank, and so this is 2 tenths plus 8 tenths. 2 plus 8 is 10, and so 2 tenths plus 8 tenths will give me 10 tenths, or 1 whole unit. I'm going to count the tenths that are shaded, and I know that there's 10 in all, and I see that there are 3 that are blank, and so that lets me know that there are 7 tenths here, decimal point 7 tenths, plus this white part tells me that I'm looking at the tenths that are not shaded. There are 3 white tenths, and so 7 tenths plus 3 tenths. Well, 7 plus 3 is 10, and so 7 tenths plus 3 tenths will give me 10 tenths. And you would do the same thing here. The shaded tenths are in this box, plus the plain tenths are on this box. And together, they would equal, find their total. Now for this diagram, I want you to notice that there's different types of shading, okay? So just the regular shading. And then we have the striped shading. And for this video, I'm going to turn those green just so that you can see them a little bit more clearly. You do not have to shade them in. Okay, but you'll see that we have those, and the shading there matches here. And here. In the past, when we've done this, a lot of kids did not notice that the shading was different, and so I'm just doing that for extra emphasis. And this box, just to help try and clarify what we're seeing in this diagram. So we have the solid tenths, the horizontal tenths, the zigzag tenths, and the blank tenths. And so you have to pay attention to what's being added. So the solid tenths plus the horizontally striped tenths. So 3 tenths plus 2 tenths. 3 tenths plus 2 tenths equals 5 tenths. Here, I'm going to add the horizontal tenths and the zigzag tenths. There's 2 horizontal tenths, and there are 4 zigzag tenths. So 2 tenths plus 4 tenths equals 6 tenths. And you'll continue like that. Notice down here, you're adding up 3 segments of the tenths. You're adding up the zigzag plus the blank plus the solid. And so you'll need to write them in that order. 4 tenths are zigzag, 1 tenth is blank, and 3 tenths are solid. Then you'll do these without pictures. Again, 3 tenths plus 6 tenths. Well, that's just 9 tenths. 2 tenths plus 4 tenths. That's going to be 6/10. 5/10 plus 2/10 plus 1/10. 5/10 plus 2/10 is 7/10. 7/10 plus 1/10 is 8/10. And you'll complete this page the exact same way. You'll have to carefully read the diagrams. If it helps you to see, if you could tell very easily which shading pattern is which, then you don't need to color these in. If you have any trouble with them, you might want to carefully shade them in. And please know that these 4 boxes, these 4 units, are used for this problem. These 4 units are used for this. These 3 units are used for here. And these 3 units are used for here. And you have to look and see what you're being instructed to add up. And a little hint, these 2 tend to be the one that most people miss, because you have to read the diagram carefully. Find all of the zigzag. There's some zigzag tenths here, here, as well as here. All right, so keep your eye out for that.